Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and today I thought we could talk about the core set. If you aren't aware of what the core set is, it's what replaced the old classic and basic set in Hearthstone, where it's a whole free collection of core cards for each class, including the neutral set, that is available for free for everybody when they log into Hearthstone and are able to use in their collection for both standard and wild and build decks with it. And it's composed of old wild cards, old classic cards, as well as they even made brand new cards. Like, for example, Corvus Bloodthorn was a legendary made specifically for the core set. It was never in a prior expansion, nothing like that. And it has been promised to be basically change every year with every standard rotation, with cards coming in and out of it. And I thought today would be a fun time to go over the cards that I would like to see leave, as well as what cards I would like to see come in. I will note though, however, with the core set, they basically said they don't want cards to be defining. Like, they're more of like supporting what their plans are for the year. So let's use for an example Druid. We saw originally last year Pounce and Feral Rage added, and it seemed kind of odd those cards weren't fantastic throughout the year. But then United and Stormwind came out, and all of a sudden there was the Druid quest where you wanted to add attack to your hero, and it made a lot more sense. So basically, the cards that I will suggest to be added when we get to that part, we're going to start with the cards to be removed, but the cards to be added, when it'll be important to note when I say that, I'm not going to factor in what I think they're going to have planned for the year. There's just no way of knowing, so I'll put in like general cards that I feel like could, you know, shore stuff up or anything like that. What cards would I like to see removed from the core set? Well, I'm imagining a lot of, like, you know, things will be shifted in and out, like maybe Spectral Sight will be removed, or a Sightless Watcher for something else, but I want to focus more on cards that I feel have been around for too long, might be a little bit problematic, things like that. I'll say I would love to see a card like Ancient of War just out of the core set. This card has not seen realistic play in I don't know how long. Even with the Druid quest when it was active, it didn't do a heck of a lot. Same with Cenarius, just not doing a lot. I'll just say, you know, just in general, old classic cards that just don't ever see play anymore, I like to see them replaced with something either new or something old that maybe has seen play at some point. The card I would like to see removed the most is Shadow Step. 0 mana spell, return a friendly minion to your hand, it costs 2 less. If you look through the history of Hearthstone with problematic decks, Shadow Step is almost always front and center, whether it's a Quest Rogue, Leroy OTK, we had all the lackeys going on and all that problem, or just with Octobot, Shadow Stepping an Octobot. Very problematic. It's basically negative mana with this spell where you spend 0 and gain 2 with a minion on the board. I just want to see Rogue without Shadow Step, without that obscene mana cheat strategy, and see what else they can do, because I just feel like it's one of those limiting things and it always seems to be problematic in these kind of degenerate decks. I'd also love to see a card like Doomhammer leave the core set. I feel like these weapon strategies are some of the most hated in Hearthstone. When a weapon deck is prominent, it's just frustrating to take all that damage, force you to run a bad weapon removal card and things like that. And Doomhammer has had its time to shine in standard for quite some time, and I'd love to see it kind of move away from that. If they're going to have weapons, you know, be more in the line of what we've seen with, like, you know, they have like, they buff something, they cheat man on a battle cry, but this Wind Fury smack thing, I don't know. I would love to see it change from that. One that might be a bit contentious, but you know what? I want to live dangerously. I want to show my biases aren't completely ridiculous. And I'll say, how about remove Brawl from Warrior? By the way, you can clip this and send this to me in the future when I absolutely regret ever suggesting this, because Control's already dead as it is. But I don't know, why not? Like, Brawl's been like the prominent board clear for Warrior forever and ever. I'm sure people are sick of hearing that ding, losing that Brawl, winning that Brawl, whatever. It would just be, you know, open up some other board clear possibilities to Warrior and not have it always contingent on Brawl. But I don't know. I hit rank 1 legend playing Control Warrior and Brawl. I don't want to see it go, but I feel like I can't just say I want stuff gone that I don't like. We got to throw something I like under the bus. So Brawl, that's my sacrifice. I would also remove River Crocodilus, because why would you put it? Why would it be there? It's a 2-mana 2/3 beast. You're gonna power creep it over and over. What's the point? Just get rid of it. It's just silly. And my last card I'd probably remove, and it's another card I absolutely love, but Gadgetson Auctioneer seems to always create issues. It hasn't recently. I mean, the most recent was probably Forge the Barons. People were getting a little bit upset with it again there, with the whole, like, there's coin strategies in Rogue, and then they just realized Field Contact and Octobot was better. But overall, Gadgetson, again, can limit cheap spells and all of that, make these ridiculous turns. So Auctioneer, it's probably a good time for it to go to Wild. It can always come back later, but I'd maybe open up some more design space by moving Auctioneer. So those were my choices for what I would like to see removed. What would I like to see added? Well, Fandral Staghelm. I just feel like this would be a really cool core set card for Druid. Get rid of Cenarius like I suggested, and put Fandral in there where you choose one cards that both effects combine. This card hasn't been really relevant in Wild forever, but maybe in a standard game it could pop up and see play. It just feels like it could be a core set card to me. It's just such a sweet, fun legendary, and I would love to see that happen. Speaking of River Croc, they should add Bloodfin Raptor to the core set. 2-mana 3/2 beast, premium stats. That's an insane card that they would absolutely never power creep, and why not add it? If you're gonna put River Croc in there, you better put in Bloodfin Raptor. Oh wait, didn't I just say it makes no sense the other way? Whatever, give Bloodfin a shot, right? Please don't. Another card I'd like to see is Dirty Rat. We've talked so much about the lack of disruption in the game, and you know, the only option has really been Mutinous, and Dirty Rat was always just a great combo disabler, a way to fight back. Your opponent could play around it by holding minions and all that. There's ways, it's just, you know, it's been probably the healthiest style of counterplay in the game. It can whiff, it can succeed, it's got that random element, it can horribly backfire. There's a lot of fun elements to the card, very frustrating elements as well, but I'd love to see Dirty Rat in there just to give more gameplay or counterplay into the game. I know that the cards aren't supposed to be meta defining or anything like that, but you've got all this cool Burgle Rogue stuff going on. There's so many cool thief cards in the game. Why not throw Tess Greymane back into standard, give Burgle Rogue that insane payoff, and maybe reword Karathine so it works with this card? I don't know, but it'd be a lot of fun, and I'll just throw that out there because why the hell not? I have to mention this card because why is this? This is like, just come on, man. This would be the coolest card to have in the core set. It'd be the ultimate, like, thank you to the Hearthstone community of Whispen the Wonderful. You start the game with one of Whispen's wonderful decks. Every player gain access to free decks. You'd be able to play Whispen and play some crappy recipe decks, and everybody would have access to this. If you have enough levels, you'd have it golden, and all these golden decks. It would just be a wicked thing. Will it ever happen? I really doubt it, but my God, I think the community would go absolutely crazy and thank Blizzard, and it would just be such good faith to see Whispen the Wonderful in the core set. It's got my seal of approval. That would just be amazing, even though I would like never ever use it unless it's for like some weird meme challenge. I don't know. I've seen a lot of demand for this card on Twitter, and I'm not going to disagree. I would love to see Carnivorous Cube in the core set. This is one of the most busted but fair cards we've ever seen, where it's a 5-mana 4/6 Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion, summon 2 copies of it. This spawned so many different style of decks, whether it's like resummoning Death Rattles, whether it was a combo where you get like charge stuff out. You could do so many cool things with this card, and it never got nerfed throughout all the years of Hearthstone, and it rarely ever came up in nerf discussions. It was just a sweet card. It's beloved, and well, it would look really cool in the core set. I want the Rat King to be successful. I keep pitching. I want this Beast Hunter thing to just work, and you know what? I'm gonna pitch a card that used to drive me crazy. I couldn't believe they would make 3-mana draw 3. Well, that's like the freaking norm now. So I put my vote for Master's Call. You can take Dire Frenzy out if you want, but put Master's Call in. 3-mana, discover a mini in your deck. If they're all beasts, draw them all. I just want the Rat King to be king. I want him to thrive. In Master's Call, just feels like it would be a really good fit in Hunter, but probably too good and probably wouldn't be a thing they would do, but you never know. I think Toki the Time Tinker would just be a really fun, cool little addition to the core set for Mage. Hell, maybe just make it a neutral minion. This doesn't even have to be Mage anymore. But the fact that there's a card in Wild that adds a random legendary minion from the past to your hand it just seems silly and pointless. I'd love to see this just remade as like a neutral card that every class would have access to. I think that'd be really cool, and just, again, a really fun addition. Not a great card, but, you know, really fun for a lot of people. And it would give, you know, every standard player access to, theoretically, every wild legendary ever. And I'll leave off with my most wanted card in the core set, Psychic Scream. You know why? I'm just kidding. I would never ask for this card. I'll just throw this one out there. If you're going to remove Brawl, why not replace it with a Plague of Wrath, where, you know, you do an AoE effect, you clear the board. It's a whole different type of AoE. It was always kind of a little bit worse than Brawl, but I don't know. It always allowed for a little bit more flexible and interesting play, and just be kind of cool if they're not going to, you know, if they're going to remove Brawl, put in Plague of Wrath. I've built this whole thing. I'm trying to, like, future-proof myself. What am I doing? And the last card I will leave off with to suggest to put in the core set. Remember when they made Wild, and like one of their reasons was like, we don't want Dr. Boom to be in every deck? Make it a core set card, and you'll see how bad Dr. Boom is, and it barely would even see play. I just think it'd be hilarious to come kind of full circle on all that. Put Dr. Boom, the iconic legendary, will look really cool in your collection, right? Look how golden and sweet he looks. Put in the core set, and you'll see how good a War Golem with 2 Boombots is in 2022 Hearthstone. So there you go. Feel free to share in the comments below what cards you would like to see in the core set, left out of the core set, what ones you agree, disagree that I shared, and hopefully you guys have fun with this. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.